Welcome back to Barcelona, to the CSGO Invitational here. And I'm in the crowd. Hey, buddy, how are you?
Hello, man.
What's your name?
John.
John, and your name?
My name is Roger.
Roger, that is a great Spanish name. So, have you enjoyed it so far?
Yeah, man, I think Scream is the best, but Fnatic wins.
Scream's got great hair.
Well, man, it's so difficult. But that headshot, oh my god, man.
No, I was talking about his hair. I mean, I know he's got great skills. I was talking about how great his hair was.
Talking.
I'll talk to Roger. So, Roger, we're obviously watching Dignitas taking on Astralis on stage. Astralis won the first matchup. Who's winning the next matchup?
For me, Dignitas it's possible, but I don't know.
Cool, this has gone well. So let's get back into the matchups. First, though, I've just got one thing I'd like to do, because I'm in the crowd. We can do this right now. So if we could just do this right now, if we'd just like to, for these two guys here. We're going to try this out, see if this works. Here we go. Let's see if this works. There we go! Come on, let's be Spanish about this. Oh, it's not happened.
Oh, that was so... Oh, I'm on camera.
I mean, if they just put one of those right here, let me tell you.
Yeah, can we set it up for those guys?
No, don't actually do it. I will do it, and it's not actually happening.
Okay. Okay, welcome to Back to the Analyst Desk. Me and Yanko are going to come over here.
Yeah, put it there now.
It's getting weird.
You guys actually have
Things are getting weird in Barcelona, but I still have some people alongside me who aren't going to make out just yet. Instead, you can probably talk a little bit about Dignitas Astralis. We've just seen the first of the two best of ones. The veto has been done and dusted, and it looks like things have changed. Going into Overpass now, as opposed to the Mirage we did just see. You guys were suggesting, it was actually quite fun. Let's go back to that debate you two were just having there, because you said, I'd like to see Overpass. Henry's response, that feels like it's going to go horribly.
Overpass for me, this feels like MSL's not going to be able to keep up Device whatsoever. Like, they're going to be relying on 5 rifle setups instead of having the AWP. This map especially, this is where Device, he was the all-pro on this map before the role switch up. So this is his home ground. Like, he's going to go absolutely ham on this. We've seen it time and time again. He was so confident in every single position. And I just feel like Dignitas, it'll be probably a reasonable scoreline like this, but if Astralis get rolling, they don't have that 7-0 deficit. If they're the ones to win a pistol, that's when it's going to be really difficult for Dignitas to get back into this one.
And Device has always been credited with this kind of aggressive versatility just all over the map, especially on that CT side. Is that something that MSL could probably just... Is that predictable? Can you actually predict, or is he just going to be everywhere? Monster, fast-peaking party?
You can expect him to be a different position, but like, it's not really where you can't be ready for every single position to face.
Yeah, not to mention the bathroom is like the sneakiest place in the entire game, because there's 3 entrances into it. You can't cover off all of them. A smoke lets you lurk through. I mean, LG uses that to perfection. Fur's gotten behind people in multiple situations there just by using timing and listening to what the T's are doing, because you can be so quiet. So it is hard. Even if you know the aggression's there, it is really hard. I think the reason, just to go back to the debate, that Overpass was a reasonable choice was just strictly because where else do you go? You can't play a number of maps that they can. They're already going to have the advantage in the veto. Yanko made mention of that. And right now, with a little bit of shuffling going on within Astralis, it's your only chance. And Dignitas have been getting better on that map. Now, I do agree, the B defense Astralis has is phenomenal. And it is going to be super hard. I'm not favoring Dignitas in this game, but it is the only option I could see for them.
So this is not necessarily confusing, but it's an interesting one where we basically sat and when we laid the land for Dignitas, we said, like, you know, there might actually be a battle for like that top Danish spot in like 2 or 3 months' time, right? That's where you kind of suggested they were going, and yet we're still sitting here and thinking they took away Cobble, they can't win Mirage, they can't win Overpass, and everything else is like a no-go. So that doesn't ring like a team that could be the top Danes.
Well, I don't want to say they can't win Mirage. They didn't win it this time around. They're probably not going to win Overpass either, right? Because you always have this problem of, you know, trying to be the best as you can on the maps you want to play, but also being under pressure to introduce new maps to your pool. Because no matter how good you are on, let's say, Cobble and Mirage, if you meet a team in a best of 3 and they ban one of the 2, you know, okay, you win Mirage, but if you can't win 2 maps in a best of 3, you're going to lose. That's how it works. That's why it's a best of 3. So that's the problem with, you know, teams who are new, who are still up and coming, and so on. So I think that, I favor Astralis in this matchup as well.
It sounds like we're going to be jumping into this one quite quickly, actually, guys. So let's just kind of run through those predictions. It feels like you're all starting to doubt Dignitas, especially after Mirage.
I think Mirage was their best chance, and they showed up really impressively and then kind of dropped off there. As soon as Astralis kind of found their footing and won that single clutch that got them back into the game. I feel like this won't be the same. I don't see Dignitas getting that same sort of advantage. I think that's a bit of an anomaly, considering like the kind of like the warm-up stage and that big pistol round. I feel like Astralis will have a good start on this one, and especially if they get the CT side. I feel like it might be more of a whitewash. I think this will be a closer maybe a 60 16-8 maybe.
Oh, look, Kerrigan's readying himself for that run smoke.
Yeah.
What about you, Sedicus?
I just wanted to go back to just a really quick point as well. We knew it was never going to go to Dust 2 because Dignitas don't like it. I think they lost their confidence against G-Bots and went 16-14. I actually think that was another choice they could have gone with. It's too bad they don't have confidence on it because although everyone says Astralis is amazing on Dust 2, I think that's a Cloud9 Inferno illusion. I think right now they're actually struggling severely on it. Yeah.
To be fair.
And their CT side is constantly evolving and changing, and it hasn't been working out perfectly. So that might have been another option for them. But in this one, going on to Overpass, I got to say 16-11 for Astralis. I just think they'll be able to get this quite convincingly.
Lots of doubt. Yanko, do you want to put a number on it as well? Or, I mean, you want to... No. Cool. Beautiful. Thanks very much from you guys at the desk. We're going to go ahead and head to your casting pair for this one. It seems like we're doubting Dignitas. Let's see what they have to say then. It's going to be Moses and Pansy standing by.
Thank you, guys, and I'm kind of in the same boat. I think most people would be. You're coming into what is arguably Astralis' one of their best maps overall. Domestic matchup or not, going to be kind of tough.
Yeah, I'm kind of with the desk. Don't have much faith in Dignitas on this map. I mean, Astralis is just so good on it. And they play the early aggression from the CT side so well. We saw how that worked for both teams on the CT side of Mirage. But on this one, it's just even more so. It's such a crucial position that bathrooms control a CT. Right. And Astralis has always been good on it, dating back to even being on TSM. So worrying for me to see Dignitas have to go against that on their terror side, which may be in the second half. But regardless, it's going to be a scary, scary situation.
Yeah, a scary prospect coming in for Team Dignitas. If they can maybe step up, it would be absolutely outstanding. But it is going to be a very, very tall order. These guys are so good at this map on every single basis. So Dignitas, it's your time to turn up. This is it. This is their last chance really to get something done in this one. So here we go. Astralis also going to pick up a very dominant knife round if that's anything to assist them in this one. They will get the choice of side, and Digger just going to have to sit back and grit their teeth and bear it.
Well, and here's the thing. It's like that first map, they were gifted 7 rounds by Astralis coming in, maybe a little sleepy, maybe just a little slow to start, whatever it might have been. That's not going to happen twice. You're not going to get that against a team like Astralis two maps in a row. So now they don't have this big advantage, and now, I mean, they've got to... Without that, with that, they lost Mirage. Without it, I mean, what's going to happen here? I think this is actually going to be a really, really convincing win for Astralis.
I'm exactly there with you. I think it's going to be like a 16-10, if that.
Yeah, 16-11, Sedicus thought. That guy's crazy.
I've got a little bit of faith for Dig, just maybe not as much as equating to a victory in this one. But we are now seconds away, and we can take a look at what these two teams are bringing into that first round. Dignitas going in for the all Glock train, all armor, nothing else, literally nothing to supplement or complement it. And Device is heading straight through. Zipnik's going to be the one with the kit and the nade, and actually, for Astralis, they're backing away, so...
Yeah, just spots some players coming up towards mid. They saw how aggressive it was as well from Device, so he's going to wrap around. 3 players here at this A-bomb site. Cajun's going to be spotting. Device is there as well for a quick peek at the corner, but Dignitas turns into bathroom, so no actual defense here. Dupree, I don't think he spotted that. This is worrying. They're very close to him. MSL is ready to swing out, but Dupree's going to get away. There is a nade and Zipnix and a flashbang in Cajun. There goes that flash and a smoke off to the bathroom, so Dignitas is going to be stuck behind that for just a little bit.
Dignitas may be trying to catch out that early aggression the Device does show. It could have worked, but then again, Astralis did fall back very early on. So Device gonna have to try and deal with them at long. But while that happens, the rest of Dignitas are trying to get in towards that side. But Kievi gonna help them out. Takes down Config. A little bit of the wires being crossed over. Not gonna help this round out as Rabino and Tensky, the last 2 alive, as Carrigan starts that flank as well, as Tensky at least does find one. But there's 3 players on the side, 1 behind. Nothing's looking good for them right now, and no one's hitting a damn shot until Device finally does. And there we go. Tensky, last man standing. He's got 1 kill so far. Doesn't get the chance for another, and Astralis start with the first round.
Yeah, convincing, and also Kerrigan continuing that trend from their defense on Mirage, where they just got aggressive across the map and got so much information off it. Kerrigan pushes all the way, past the sewers up towards Terra's spawn, and he just says, "All right, they're not here. Stack 4 at the A bomb site." So that was just Dignitas running headlong into too many Astralis players, not able to get anything done, only with the 1 kill. Now they're going up to P90 on Dupree, the MP7 on Cajun. This is going to be fast towards the B bomb site. There are some HE grenades to deal some damage, but Dignitas has some of the smokes of their own.
Yeah, Tensky put that one down just behind them, and it does allow at least Config to get closer to the site. Cajun B not quite able to take him down, and it does leave a little bit of room to breathe. Config's found 2, recovered a gun, but he's so low. Bomb's not down in a great place, but Tensky comes in, and now we're down to a 2v2. Config's still on the site. Tensky further away, and they're backing out of this one. Dupree's trying to hunt them down, get any form of information as to where they are. Are they just trying to back away? Are they just trying to reset the pacing? And now suddenly, Astralis, you're left in that predicament as the CT side. Do we play one per side? Do we double up? How do we go about this one?
The good thing about Overpass is they can play a little bit more passive and reserve positions at both bomb sites where they're not really in too much danger of getting picked off. They might have to sacrifice a plant, but it does allow for quick rotates between the sites. So a minute left on the clock, and Astralis has just got to be very aware that Dignitas has plenty of time to work with. And coming through towards this door, it looks like there is one flashbang on config. That's going to be a fake. That's going to try and pull one person away. Now they pick things up because they know that if that fake works, it still has a clock on it. And they're just going to rush towards the A bomb site where Device is waiting with the FAMAS.
And Dupree playing so deep in B is going to be a long time in the making. If Device does mess this up, he does at least get config down. He's the sacrificial lamb to allow Tensky the chance to get the angle on towards Device. And Device is playing Ring of Roses, buying the time, and now doesn't land the shot. Tensky's back in this one, 1-1 now. Dupree taking the longer route, P90 into place. He's got the flash, he's got the smoke, but will Tensky consider this being an option? Tensky gets away well. But he is low, he's got 20 HP here.
Yeah, he had to take that gamble. He had to absolutely pick one spot and just get aggressive on it and hope it works out. Taps the bomb. Tensky, are you going to take the gamble that he's off the defuse? And you are. This is going to be a full 10 second, and actually Dupree spots him out in the open. Might not know he's low. He's got to wait for Tensky to commit.
Dupree's holding it. 5, 4, 3. Tensky's got to get in there. Dupree comes off it, and now Tensky hits the brakes. He finds cover. He is playing this so well. Dupree will get the kill, but I doubt he's going to get the round. It's time to back away and keep hold of that gun, and Dignitas actually turning it around.
That's incredible. Dupree, just hold it. When you're at 2 seconds of a 10-second defuse, just hold that. Oh, that's heartbreaking. That's so well played from Tensky, though. The risk by just going towards CT spawn, because like I said, you have to pick one of them. With 12 HP, you have to just, say he's either flanking or he's coming up this way. And if I pick the wrong one, I'm just going to die, basically. So now Astralis, they have to... That's crushing. That's actually incredible to me that he lost that.
It's quite surprising, but here we go. Back into this one. They're going to go back on towards Force. You've got the Deagles coming out. You've got still the gun there, but it's going to be placed towards Device. So he's going to be able to pick that up. And now Dignitas not sure what they're coming up against. It's going to take a little bit of a slower pace, a little bit of a quieter start. Just make sure there's no one pushed up. Make sure they're clearing out these corners well. And Dupree gets them back in. He can't just stay out too long with these Deagles, trying to just fall back on the angle. And our Device left pushed up a little bit further. And if they don't check this, there could be trouble. But actually, they're swinging it around.
Yeah, and Zipnix is actually pushed up. There's a little bit of a stack here from Astralis right outside the door towards short sewers, so this could, net them some advantage. Zipnix still hiding. He's going to get the first kill. Does get traded off by MSL, though, so nice management. Smoke off to block any passageway into that A-bomb site. 1 minute left on the clock. Rubino's going to be highly aggressive out towards Monster.
Rubino needs to be as well, because Carrigan's presence already noted. They know they're coming up against a player real close up on short. There's Kiebi, though. There's Rubino. That's what they need to do. Just break in, heavy-handed almost. And now it's just Device. He was the only one with the rifle into this. Maybe time to get out of there.
Yeah, absolutely. Kerrigan trying to play with the smoke, see if he can find anything. Try to pop flash himself through it, but Dignitas isn't going to fall to that. So they're going to go up 2-1. Good lead here for them. Device, he's not running away. He's sticking around, trying to get one more kill. But now, once he's been found out, once they know he's being a little bit more aggressive, that aggressive posture just delays the hunt a little bit longer. That might be what Device was looking for, but he's already got config coming from behind. So he's got to be very, very careful.
Yeah, you can see Kiebi just slowly working through. Config as well. Device going to be pushed there. He does find one, so making it a little more costly. 3 rifles still standing, though. Device has to wait out this time. There goes the bomb. Config not in the right place, sadly, for his sake, as Device will manage to stay alive, get himself the AK as well. And to be fair, for Astralis, they can't afford anything else.
That's actually a small mistake that AK's given up to Device. It's the one thing that can do damage, and it's his hands with armor. It's a pretty decent opportunity here. So Dignitas, that hunt wasn't convincing enough on both sides of that pinch. And it just ends up in handing him a free gun. So Device, you're going to have to see what he can do. Astralis needs to let him make the first contact, see if he can find an opening pick, give him a man advantage, or even find a gun that they can salvage on another one of their pistol players.
If they do that, it does become very, very dangerous. They're going to use probably Tensky as that scout player, just head as far forward as he can with the MAC-10. But actually, Rubino has found Kerrigan very quickly. But now Device set up to try and trade it. He doesn't get it. That's the gun down, but it is recovered. Straight into the hand, I think, of Zipnix there if he can find it. He does take a second to look for it. He does get it in the end. And now 3-4.
Actually, Device didn't even do that much damage. He didn't even get an assist on that kill, so Zipnix was the one with the USP to just long-range assassinate him. Now KRB coming around the corner, takes off the head of Dupree, and this should be a pretty typical easy round here from here on out for Dignitas. This config just sets up, supports MSL to get the bomb planted. It is going to be 3-1, and that nade hurts a lot. Now Zipnix, they have to save these AK-47s. Both of them have one. It'd be such a huge thing for them to save one of these even. But the MAC-10 from Tensky, that's going to deny everything. Dream's dead.
Dream's dead.
Go home.
Thank
Give me
you,
that
Moses.
AK-47 back.
Come on, Zipnix. Come on. I believe. I don't believe at all. He's got 10 HP, and there's a lot of people looking in for him. You can look at the minimap. They are all closing. Idiot does get down one, but not going to follow up in the end. There's KRB denying keeping hold of that rifle.
I was going to say, Tensky won a clutch with 12 HP, so like that 10 HP, you can do
know.
a lot with it. But that AK-47 could have just helped out, drop something over, have a little bit more utility on someone like Cajun or Kerrigan. Cajun's stuck on one smoke. Kerrigan has a smoke flash. And no AWP on Device. I know that was brought up at the desk. So Astralis, I mean, they dropped the ball in that second round, and now they've got to recover from it. Money's being built up on the Dignitas side. And there's that aggressive posture towards bathrooms. Dupree is pushed forward. Cajun and Device are both supporting him. If that's able to find a kill, that's the huge play for Astralis. Find that kill and then just turtle up back into the bomb sites.
KRB config, MSL, all certainly looking for this sort of opportunity. If there's anything waiting in those smokes, a lot to clear out by now. So much time is not necessarily wasted, but committed towards just clearing corners by this point as you're seeing Dupree and KGB. I love this little play above the smoke. It's going to allow config the shot there towards KGB. That is perfect play coming out of this one, and that's the pick they need. Now as a CT side, you're kind of left sitting there going, okay, how do we come about this? How do you deal with these Ts if they stack up, if they play that bomb site? We're always going to be outnumbered here.
Yeah, and the answer right now from Dupree is just to stay aggressive because they still have those smokes up. The real adjustment is going to be when those smokes finally disappear, are they going to fall back? And right now it's not looking too likely. Config out towards long. He's been spotted out by Device. But still, complete bathroom control for Dignitas. 45 seconds left on the clock. They have plenty of time to work with this and pull the defense apart. And 2 players at each bomb site, essentially, for Astralis.
And considering they still have those mollies as well, they can clear corners very quickly. Now, Zipnix falling will mean that, okay, maybe B's the side we need to go to. Kerrigan's the only player who's currently holding this one. Smoke goes down. It is a quick adjustment. Device and Dupree instantly going to have to come off the back of this, but Kerrigan has to stop the flood, and he can't. The Dignitas side come flooding in, and suddenly we're down to 2 players, and they're in the wrong place at the wrong time. And this is a great round from Dignitas. All 5 players alive. MSL, Shaw, and Rubino are low. But at the moment, they're building up some good initial rounds here.
Yeah, and I mean, we didn't catch that, but Tensky gets that shot, picking Zipnix out of midair. I mean, that was just jump spotting over at the B bomb site, and he takes the head off over the wall. So that's a sick play, especially after that first opening pick, and then this B, I mean, the B bomb site just collapses. Kerrigan, that's a tough spot to play in to get multiple kills, especially when they're streaming up past those sandbags and everything. So 4-1 now for Dignitas, and I didn't think they would get this hot of a start, but they're looking good after that second round win.
They really are. I'm feeling if and when Device gets the AWP, things will probably change. I feel that's when they do start getting much more strength in their aggression, but that's not for a little while here. They're still on 2.9. They're really not sitting too pretty. Dupree and Device, of course, will have those rifles, but outside of that, there's really not much going for the Astralis side on their CT half. So at the moment, it's going to be a little bit of control remaining with Dignitas for a while. They're sitting on, 4.2, 7.7 KRB, 6 as well with Config and Tensky. So they're getting pretty flush at this, and you can see the aggression now coming out from a CT side. Going to try and make the most of what they have, which isn't a great deal. As here comes a little boost as well. That's meant to be between Device, I believe, Cage and B there, and the molly comes out just very closely. You can see Dignitas know what these guys like to do, and Device is suffering at the hands of it, and a great little counter to that.
Yeah, now Device has got to try and get away, and Dupree is going to fall to MSL. So once again, Dignitas is just taking this fight complete control. Device does get one. He's got to stay alive, though, checking behind him to make sure he's not getting flanked. Cajun's down to 4 HP, so he's forced passive. Dignitas, and now they can slow things down because they have gained a little bit of control. Device is the only one they really have to worry about, and he's going to fall to Tensky just now. So that forces the defense all the way back. Cajun with 4 HP is essentially useless. He's only got a pistol as well. Zipnix is the one who's got to make a play, and he's at A with an M4, no armor. And Dignitas just has so much time to work with now. This becomes such a tough situation.
So much in the arsenal still as well for Rabino. He's got that molly, he's got the 2 flashes, he's got smoke still aplenty. Tensky and MSL with those. If they feel pressured enough to utilize these, they can certainly do so. It is Zipnix who's going to be soloing out on the side. The 2 players on the other side of things will be Carrigan and Cajun B. So Zipnik's going to try and play this one as best he can, but by this point it looks like a round almost done and dusted here. These 4 players will be taking the side, and Zipnik's...
They're just gambling.
Yep.
Yeah, they just say, come to the B-bomb site with us. We'll stack this with 3. If they come here, great. If not, we're going to help you try and save this M4. But the hunt is going to be on, and now with that extended bomb timer, it's even harder to save that gun, especially considering Dignitas has so much money. They don't care about losing some AK-47s. They're more worried. They want Astralis to be forced to buy another weapon here. So, especially with the 2 M4s on the board now. So this hunt should be just really, really aggressively getting under the way any second now.
The thing is that if they keep that economy very, very low, as much as they can throughout any conjuncture, you're going to see the distinct lack of AWPing coming out, which can be such a big factor for Astralis, especially on this map, on this side. So Carrigan and Zipnix, time to try and hold on for your dear life, pretty much, as that bomb timer is actually running low, and to be fair, Dignitas are going to have to take a very quick fight on this side. I don't think they're going to have much time. A couple more seconds, and there we have it. At least one of the rifles remains Carrigan. Lovely work at the end then, finding 2, but there it is. There's the AWP coming out to play. Device is going to be able to just about afford it in this one. A good bit to support it as well. You got the smoke and the 2 flashes, but then again, some of those nuances that really work for him in this map, like that boost with Cajun B, can't quite be done.
Yeah, I mean, the full losing bonus in their favor is going to give this up now. But this is the thing. Astralis, if they're going to keep playing aggressive in bathrooms, they have to start winning this fight out here, because the fact that they've lost it frequently in the early stages of this match, they get forced back into the site and they have no information. So it's so hard to predict where the next hit is going to come. It's so hard to get that defense set up to stop the attack of Dignitas, the onslaught that comes in the late round. And MSL is just going to walk out behind the smoke, and actually Astralis gets a little bit more passive. So Device is on top of the flower pots. He's got to get away. This is a long way. This is a long amount to run, and they're going to be aggressive with it. And they catch him out. He doesn't get back fast enough. So Device, a misplay there, and Config gives his team an advantage. Now Cajun does pick up the AWP. That's the one silver lining, is he salvages that weapon, but they get the kill they want. Now they have, again, another round with a minute with a man advantage.
And Dignitas instantly maybe assuming there'd be a rotate, maybe they'd pull a player back towards A. No, Zipnix and Carrigan are still actually here, so I think Carrigan just saw MSL. They know what's coming. He's going to take that shot and get it. MSL goes now instantly, understanding they're going to play through from Monster, and what a play from Carrigan as well. Just taking these boys apart, and that is the individual ability that Astralis can sometimes depend upon. But again, coming back to the start there, Device getting caught out, that was a very dangerous beginning.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe once again it's just something where miscommunication, where his teammates fell back and he wasn't expecting it, but they had no eyes on that portion of bathroom. So I mean, Config was able to just sneak in there. But this quad kill from Carrigan, that's a beast play. Even just that one kill onto MSL where he spots it out, he knows what's coming, he gets that kill, re-peeks with it. And we saw this on Mirage as well. Slow start, and then it was Dupree with the 1-on-2 win. So this big play might have just gotten Astralis back in the game. We'll have to see if all of his teammates are going to step up behind it.
I think Device actually almost did the incorrect throw as well as he was running away. But there we go. That's the start that I expected to start seeing. Device is such a dominant AWPer here, so going to get the first now as the presence on long has been found. MSL gets picked up, and there's Device again. This is the man we expected. And there's a delivery service of it all. So now down to Rubino and Tensky to try and make their way through towards B. And actually this time, Carrigan has no chance at this one. And Zipnik's going to take his time. He's going to take the long road around, give up the site, play for the retake, because they know that there's no bomb coming down. They can just set up passively, hold the angles.
Yeah, what do you do in this minute if you're Dignitas? You're going to be able to buy into the next round. You should be able to. I imagine they'll have one more buy, but that opping from Device, if that's the opping he's going to have for this whole half now that he's got it in his hands, that's going to be a tough spot. And Dupree has set up a really nice crossfire. They're not even going to look this way. So Rubino and Tetsky, they're trying to prevent anyone from peeking party, but Dupree's going to get opening shots, but can't win that battle. There's Device. One more for him. Flashbang, or nade, excuse me, just stalling for time. And Tensky's got to be aggressive, but there's still 3 members, and Zipnix is just going to find an easy kill there. So 3-5 now, and it is going to be a buy. And actually, MSL can get the AWP if he chooses to. This will be the last buy. He's not going to, by the way. He gets the AK-47. So this will be their last buy before they have to save, barring a plant. If they want to buy in the next round, they need to get a plant in this one.
See what they go for. Again, Device, what sort of spawn does he have at this point? He does have a relatively decent spawn towards taking that initial pick over from Party, but not seeming where Dignitas are going. MSL is down there, but MSL gets the flash onto him, and look at the confidence from Device, actually trying to take that shot. He's going to have to quickly try and get out of there. He knows he's got support in the form of Dupree. MSL can't make the most of it, but where's the rest of Dignitas? The fact that Device didn't see anyone excluding MSL is enough information they can work off. Now Karrigan has to deal with this. So many players coming in. Kievi's found Zipnik, so they know there's still one man standing. Good take again towards this B side, but they need to get that bomb down. As said, and Device has arrived. There's the kill towards Config. Bomb does get planted, and it's retake time.
Oh, and then jumping up is Rubino, but that gets punished by Cajun really easily. He does get traded off, but down to a 2-on-2. There is a smoke left on the Device to utilize, a couple flashes as well. Tensky, they're both playing towards monsters, so actually this is a little bit, they switch up the positioning. Nade comes out though, Dupree eats it just on the Device. He is going to smoke off the bomb. It's a fake though, and he's going to swing around. He grabs one kill. That's a one-on-one that he isolates. Going for another, but actually just standing right on top of the bomb is MSL. In close range, AK fire to the head. Device falls. Couldn't make it work. So Dignitas with a very quick B play. They switch up the pace, and on their last buy before they would have had to save, they steal a round away from Astralis. 6-3 now.
It's getting close. Device back on the AWP into this round again. None coming out for Dignitas at this point, going straight on the rifles, and really limited economy as well. Looking at what they're coming in with utility-wise, Tensky has nothing, Config is one smoke, Rubino absolutely nothing as well. So this is going to be a pretty tough task to break through. So they're going to have to try and forego the likes of Device, Dupree, and Cajun B without much to bring to the plate.
This op from Device, it's going to get smoked off, so that one smoke kind of ruins the plans. And look at this, just predicting the information jump, and actually swings out in front of that Molotov, goes for one more, but he can't find it. Now he's got to fall away. Look at how fast, look at how aggressively Dignitas is pushing up to catch him from falling back, but it's going to be Dupree to bail him out with the P90. Can't get either kill, though. Brings it both low. And there's Cajun coming up the stairs. Timely fashion. He gets a third as well. Another big play from an individual on Astralis.
Dupree lining them up and KGB knocking them out. It's down to Tensky and Rubino again. The two that made it work pretty well at B, but this time, bombs down by the bathrooms. You know the CT side are going to know this. Device and Zipnik still pretty close. He's already come off that B site, so Device going to be watching this with eagle eyes, as Tensky and Rubino have absolutely no utility to work with as well.
Yeah, they've got to take all duels. 45 seconds left, and they've got to imagine in their head, they've got to think that there's going to be some kind of defense mounted around the bomb, but Astralis has given it all up, and as this clock runs down, if it takes them too long to pick up the bomb here, they're basically going to be forced into just going towards the A site immediately after picking it up. 30 seconds left.
There we go, he's going for it. Now, 25 seconds and counting. They have to get past Device and Zipnix with very limited time here.
Yeah, it would take 13 seconds-ish to get to that B-bomb site, so they have to go up against the Device. And like you said, no utility, no flashbangs to force him back, no smoke to block his vision. Rubino's just got to go up and try and die before this bomb or this round timer ends.
Yep, flash comes out. He's going to go for the plant, actually, and like I mentioned, Zipnix will be the one to put him out of his misery, as he knows those options were dwindling towards the end of that one. Now Astralis bringing a couple of rounds back here, 4-6. Dignitas just going on that buy without much to support it. Kind of left them in a rut there, so down to very little money. Going to go for a deagle or two and the armor to supplement, so they've got something in mind here.
Well, they have this losing bonus building up, and they know that they've done some damage. It's not like these rounds from Astralis have been clean, especially because they just won round 9. So they're thinking maybe the economy's a little bit lower, or they can at least keep it low into the gun rounds.
Oh, look at this pacing. Look how much pressure they want to put towards Dupree and Device. And Device is already backed up. Dupree's a little closer. He could be overrun here. 20 bullets to take down this many players could be a problem, but he's not actually flashed at the moment. He turns at the wrong time, but he still gets the kill. Config goes down. Tensky punishes. There's MSL. Sight is not theirs, though. Look at this. Cajun B instantly there, as is Zipnix. And here comes the fight. Now they've got guns, though. The AWP touched MSL's hand for a second, but it doesn't last long, as now Tensky down to 1 HP. He's got the bomb at least, I guess, and a gun.
And we've seen him win a clutch round with low HP. So this
you reckon one's is it's back on?
No, he got his one. This is basically impossible. He could get a plant though if he just sprints all the way to B and no one from Astralis gets back in time. If they respect this A bomb set a little bit too much, but actually he slowed things down. So Tensky's just going to be. Looks like he's kind of trying to run around back behind a flanker that would be coming up the stairs, see if he can get an easy free kill. But that's not going to happen. But this round has done what it was intended to do. Look at all the damage that's out. 3 kills. If Tensky's able to get one more, then it's even more damaging. So the economy for Astralis is not going to be solidified. They're going to have to spend a lot of money to get their buy back up. And that's going to be crucial if Dignitas is able to reset him in the next round.
Tensky could walk right between these two. Zipnix is just about going to check it, though. There we go. He was in between long and check in sight, and he will find it eventually. Tensky not able to get the plant, nor the two remaining players there. This Device still trying to ensure that his name is not Device, but none of us seem to have taken that on board. So 5-6. Dignitas again. Not too much money, a very light purchase into this one, though.
Yeah, Cajun doesn't have any flashes. Dupree, he doesn't have any flashes. Could have bought one. And all this money is just, you know, 2 members below $300, one down at 1,000. So it's only Device and Kerrigan that really have any bank built up. There's a nice shot from Dupree and MSL. And Device in stairs, he gets one. That nade does not come out. Decides not to throw it. Gets another. There's the nade. Almost doubled him up, actually. Tagged Urbino through the body of Config. And it's going to be a cleanup for Astralis.
Astralis building back in, and I can imagine Dignitas are getting flashbacks to the last map, going,
Yes.
not again. Not like this.
Not like this. They have lost 5 of the last 6 rounds. That's a little heartbreaking for him. That shot was pretty sweet.
That's sexy.
It's like just a standard shot, but it was nice. Way to go, Dupree.
I'm proud of you, Dupree. And it almost could have been a lot worse than if there could have been a 2-for-1 shot. But here we go, back into the rounds as it is round 13 coming in. And we're back to seeing at least Dignitas with a little bit of something to work with. Not a great deal, so not too many fake plays coming out, not too many kind of trying to draw the CTs one way or another, but Device switching up again. Look at this guy. Going in on the pick towards where Urbino is. Trying to secure a little bit of an angle. Not going to hit the shot, actually. Quite uncharacteristic into this map, at least in my eyes by now. But now knowing where that is, maybe Dignitas want to work off the back of it.
Yeah, but great idea. Being mobile with the op, once again, trying to use that to control the map. He hasn't been towards that B bomb site yet, so he actually gets the free shot on Urbino. He gets exactly what he wanted. Not able to do it. Actually, Device not scoped in either way. He gets punished. That's the second time Tensky has picked somebody's head over that wall. So really well done from him and MSL now. This is back to the thing. Like, the Astralis has been building back into this game by not getting picked off early stages, and this boost from Config. They've got to be careful. The Dupree's going to wrap around. If he turns around, it's basically free kills for him.
Config. Oh, ringer, roses, and Config, if he had his gun out, could have done something, but knife to hand, not going to play well, and it is now down to a 4v3. Carrigan with the AWP, Zipnix actually, and Cajun B, the last 2 alive to supplement. Carrigan's going to try and solo out that B side, it seems, just watching that cross in. Zipnix and Cajun B not too far away, they can easily rotate through, but they are not going to be there for that first contact. MSL might have to just try and face the barrel of Carrigan's gun at this point, as if they don't smoke this, there could be trouble. He's not going to land the first. Does get the second at least, but now he's out in the open. It's going to be Kievi to punish him on that one. And 3v2, Dignitas keeping the advantage here.
Oh, I needed that kill to make this doable. Now Cajun, he's just brought so low. This is a round he does not want to go for. Maybe if he can grab the op and just bail out, that would be, I feel, best case scenario. Because their money is very, very low. Well, no, it's not actually. They won the last round by a wide margin. Excuse me. So, full buy again for Astralis and Dignitas. That was a nice round from them. But it's all off the back. Once again, Astralis just can't lose players in the beginning of the round. Like, once again, another pick and another round where Dignitas has over a minute to work with a 5-on-4 advantage.
Well, that's the danger when you've got Device roaming it. When it works, it's brilliant. When it doesn't, you're caught out and you're open. And Tensky's been landing ridiculous shots to that exact spot. So
yeah,
it's you know, it's risk-reward, and sometimes one outweighs the other. But there's the nade coming down. Does tickle a couple of the Dig boys, but not too many taking much out of that one. So this is a different start actually from the Dig guys, and maybe expecting that peak coming out from Device here.
Throwing the same smokes that they've been doing this whole time for that bathroom control. Meanwhile, this mass the B hit. It's going to be so aggressive. Kerrigan gets the first one. He falls, and Zipnix has been brought low. He's in the open. He's gonna drop as well. So B bomb site is open for Dignitas to get this plant. Looking like a very solid likelihood that they're going to get up towards 8.
It looks like it. Dupree's on the flank. He's going to be coming around, but already Dignitas keeping that into mind. But he's still going to find Urbino, so they're down to 3. MSL's quite low here, and there's still a nade towards Dupree. This is possible, but it's not going to be easy. Cajun B taking steps forward, though, looking towards that side as the clock ticks. The flash comes in, but he gets blinded by it. Kievi's going to trade out. Config comes back in. Now it's just Cajun B in a 1v1 up against Config. He's got to know where Config is by now. But the plant is so perfectly for him. First fake comes in, flash comes out, and Config has none of it. Cleanly done in the end. And Dig start taking back some control here.
Yeah, they've now just won the half on the T side of Overpass. That's very impressive. So good opening start for them in this matchup where, you know, all the analysts, we all talked about, you know, Astralis on Overpass, nothing to slouch at. So Dignitas putting together a really, really good game here. And look at this buy Astralis has. This is This is awful. They have to buy it. It's the last round of the half, but they have a shotgun on device, and they've just got upgraded pistols behind that. 3 CZs. And this time, once again, it's a very similar setup to what they've had this whole half, but they just don't have guns now. And Device has already been burned down to 20 HP, and he's alone at these stairs, so one nade is going to clean him out. And actually, Config, it looks like, is just going to come down the stairs. Device does a little bit of damage, but he does get cleaned out in the end.
Yeah, not going to be able to find too much then. That said, the damage early on kind of foregoes anything he could have achieved by maybe just being that nuisance playing in the stairwell. So now 5v4 again, something that's being quite a regular occurrence here for at least Dignitas enjoying this one. Going to be looking towards that B site a little bit, Rabino and Tensky there, but yeah, zero commitment from overall Dignitas. Kievi's going to collate the bomb, and you can see Cajun B and Dupree just kind of stacked up a little further aggressive than normal, just because you want to use those CZs to the best of their ability. But by now, 55 seconds, you can see actually Carrigan and Zipnik's getting pretty close up here, but again, just holding these angles.
Yeah, no map control for Astralis, no information. That's what this peak is designed to gain both of. They have the info now that there was only one player there. They also have control of that region. They can just fall back now, and with that information, I imagine pretty soon here they're going to stack up at this A bomb site. They don't have the weapons. They need to have a stack here. Someone should be coming back anytime soon.
Dupree could have been a danger factor, but doesn't matter. But look at Cajun B sneaking in, doesn't matter again. MSL checks it, Cajun B falls. There's the plant. Carrigan's recovered a rifle, but Zipnik's not going to have such luck. He's going to have to come in just with that 5-7. But then again, the P250 work he had on Mirage was something you've got to remember. But this is going to be a tough retake. They're set up well for this. As now Rabino going to be the first contact as Carrigan does fall. Zipnik tries to work off the back of it. He does get one, but that is all he will gather. And a good half from Dignitas here on the T side.
Yeah, really, really good half. This time they recover from that drought where Astralis won 5 of 6. And Dignitas doesn't just completely collapse in that half, so they win the last 3, which is huge. Eventually resetting the economy, forcing those pistols out in the last round. So really well done from Dignitas. They had a lot of success that whole half of just finding an opening pick, and this is a half that they win on the harder side of the map where they lost the pistol round. That's that second round was so brutal to what Astralis wanted to do going forward, and now they're in a very real danger of losing a life here.
Config saying GG. I think Server's taking its sweet time in this one. But still, gotta say, this is actually very impressive from Dig. Don't get me wrong, they are very good on this map as well. There's no taking away from that, but you take into account domestic matchup, you take into account Astralis' strength is this map overall. It was always going to be quite an uphill task for Dignitas, but maybe that's what they needed here. You know, Baxter, we've got to survive this, right? This is what we need. So for them, they've come out swinging now. It's can they deal with the T side? Can they deal with the aggression that, again, truly complements the style on this? And Astralis are no slouches on their T side. Let's not write them off on that factor. So we are just waiting on this one to start back up.
Yeah, the really cool thing to me in this match for Dignitas with how well they've played is that no, it's not because one player has just had an incredible match. They've done this, very consistently as a team. Even their star player, Caribou, he's only at 6 kills. I mean, he's at the bottom of the scoreboard for him. So it's been a huge impact by Tensky. You think that one-on-one he came out on top of in the second round when he had 12 HP against Dupree. You think of the 2 shots he's hit over that wall towards the B bomb site, getting that pick or just an extra kill into the round. He's had an incredible match with only 14. And even on the other side, the kills are still very, very close together for all the Astralis guys as well. I mean, this is just going to be now. I mean, we saw this the other day. We saw where a situation where Astralis had a rough CT half on Mirage against Envy, and then came back on their T side and just spanked them. So this is the same kind of situation now where, yeah, you had a great first half, Dignitas. Don't get ahead of yourselves though. Don't relax just yet.
We've seen it before several times now with Astralis. They are one of those teams that can turn things on a dime.
And it seems like, as Henry said, they're getting over the fact that they're Danish.
Are you mocking his analysis?
I just think that was incredible.
It's a great statement.
As long as being Danish doesn't tilt them, that was beautiful.
They like to choke a lot, apparently. So maybe that was his point. But if 2 of them do it at the same time, does it count?
Yes. Oh, that is an interesting scenario now.
Yeah. Deep thoughts during this downtime.
During the extended halftime break.
Yeah, not sure what that was. It was very exciting. But we are going to get underway any second now. We're down to the 10-second timer into the second half. So, of course, going back into this one will be Astralis' T side coming up now. Dignitas on the CT side. And looking back at it, the start of things for Dignitas on the first map on their CT side was very impressive. However, going forward, they started to struggle. But this time they've got a nice all-round buffer here. And let's see what they can achieve. Dignitas going to be all armored up. And on the other side, Astralis going to be kind of cluttering themselves with those smokes and flashes and going for a little bit of utility here.
Oh, this is very aggressive from Dignitas, but it's so fast-paced as well. Rubino's already towards playground. Caribbee's coming down the stairs right now, so they're going to have very quick flank. They have so much information. Look at that. MSL's already taking that fight. He does fall. Dupree's in the bomb site. There's Caribee. He chimes in with one. Dupree's going to come over to try and clear out the water. Not able to do it. Cajun B's going to have to. Config is blind. Switches out for a new gun, and there's Zipnix. 2 kills. Really establishes that bomb site in the favor of Astralis, and now Astralis has both pistol rounds in this match.
Very, very quick stuff from Dignitas, just not able to capitalize on the information they actually gathered so beautifully. A couple of kills coming, but not too much. We do have a pause coming out. I'm not too sure what's going on, but it looks like Device is doing some lovely hand movement here.
Yeah, there's no way this has got to be a technical pause. There's no way that's tactical, but yeah.
No.
Device being very expressive with his hands.
Maybe he's just been watching Alex hosting the desk. Have you seen that Alex basically does like Madonna's voguing when he's talking? Like he's gesticulates a lot.
It is pretty impressive stuff.
It is. It is. It's nice of him to return to the CS scene, of course. We have missed him as he went over to the dark side for a little while. I've missed him.
Listen, he betrayed the family once. Just get him out.
It's time to just remove him.
We're just done with him now.
It's done. It's done. It's over. Oh, poor little Alex. He's doing much better today. He's remembering which teams people are. You could have messed this one up pretty good.
I did like he went right back at Sadicus for one of the COD comments, and then he brought up, if you guys did not watch Kluge, Sadicus.
Oh, the regen.
The health regen.
On Cash, wasn't it?
Yep, it was in a Cash match at the last major. It wasn't just like some random off match.
No, that's solid.
Incredible stuff out of Sadicus.
Solid work. I don't think I've ever quite gone that far into into my deep dark history of Call of Duty, but sticking with CS at least, I think I've done myself proud.
Never go back.
It's dead anyway. It's dead and gone. Activision ruined that long ago. Farewell COD 2 and the fun times of COD 4 Pro Mod. But looking at this one, hopefully the technical issues are resolved. It's always good getting updates as to what's going on. We have no idea, but Zimnix looks happy at least, so that's something, right?
I mean, this is the thing, right? Because Dignitas Astralis has known this team, like, when they come into these matches and they're all having a good time and playing loose, like, they're a very silly team. They're very just, like, fun, happy-go-lucky. I mean, there was all those videos from Pro League about them, like, their war chants and cries before the game, the knife round. Yeah. And every time they came into the match, like, that relaxed and, like, just joking with each other and laughing, they just started, like, stone-cold crushed people.
Yeah. To be fair, Dupree did promise to send me a TeamSpeak recording of them during a pause. I'm not sure what happens, but apparently it's wonderful, and I feel I'm missing out.
Don't even want to know.
I do.
Don't even. Look at... There's Deva.
Deva. Why try and change your name by this point? I really don't know. I don't understand the theory to it, but we are just chilling out. Still not sure what's going wrong. Everyone seems very happy at least, which is something. Okay, we found out something wonderful. Tensky.
Found the culprit. Incredible.
Tensky dropped Coke on his mouse mat, apparently.
It's far too early in the day to be drinking Coke.
This guy. Oh, just dropping his spaghetti everywhere.
So, switching that mouse pad out, I'm assuming.
Bless. I can't believe you do that. That's fantastic. I'm trying to think which event was it? They kept breaking the hand warmers as well. Like that happened like every 10 rounds on broken. I think it was Pro League finals.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think that's Pro League.
Yeah.
It was cold in California that weekend.
Yeah. We actually got aircon working for once. We're proud of ourselves at ESL. Don't laugh at that, Moses.
Yeah, those hand warmers. It was almost like the you could just make you run out of a tactical pause and you're like, let me just shatter my hand warmer really quick.
I'm almost certain by the
that had to have been the idea.
Like I think it was Edward had done it like 4 or 5 times and just like broken it ever. It's like I'm not sure. We're just not gonna allow you to have it. We'll give you gloves. There you go.
Strong hands. Either way, back out of the pause before that goes in a wrong direction. It is going to be a buy-up in the second round for Team Dignitas. The pistols, the Scout is on config. We've seen the damage he can do with it just yesterday. We saw it on Cobblestone, where he had some incredible rounds with the Scout.
Yeah, can be a really impactful player. And looking at where he's taking it, it's towards the B side of things. So he's looking for maybe a clean little pickup if someone showed their head there. But he's only going to get the lower torso of Zipnix if he actually does push through. But he's going to find the head anyway. He pushes there and gets through the wall as well.
Yeah, why not? Just go for it. Config just being a beast, gives him a man advantage. And there's armor and everything behind this, too, on 3 players. MSL's the only one who doesn't pick up armor. He just got a deagle. But Astralis is still spread out across the map. I mean, they have nowhere they can go to get these trades, and this is the thing. Now they're getting picked apart by a deagle. First the scout, now the deagle. Finally, Dupree takes him out, swaps over for the AK-47, but very spread out still. So there's still a lot of potential for Dignitas to be able to find another kill and get away with it.
It's so dangerous to be playing this far apart. Of course, Kerrigan kind of went over to see if anyone collected the gun of Zipnix, kind of playing a little bit further back, but wasn't the case. So Kerrigan knows that no one's pushed through there yet, but they've not spread out Config for a while. Tensky's still here, Rubino's still here. And they're the 2 players who have armor as well, so this isn't going to be easy. Tensky's going to get a lot of information soon if they don't peek this. They should do, they should be walking right at it soon. He's just seen a leg, he knows what's coming his way now. You can see the instant response. MSL is on the flank, great shot from Tensky, he's going to find Cajun B. He goes back again, they're buying time here. He's got a free shot, he takes it! Config finds Kerrigan, and there we have it. Dig, turn it on a dime.
Yep, that's the, okay, so Astralis wins both pistols, Dignitas wins both second rounds. Massive blunders from Astralis. That's the second kill, that first one of the scout from Config. I mean, you can't let them get away with that. 2 kills that, I mean, that second one eventually does get traded, but when you're so spread out, you're just giving opportunities to find a kill and not be able to return the favor. So Dignitas just outlasts them here in this round, and now Astralis, they don't want to give it up. They're pissed that they just lost another second round, so they're going to go straight for the B rush, Tech 9 and armor.
Here we go, Config's going to have to go big or get absolutely mowed down probably by the Tech 9s, but it's Tensky saving his ass at the moment. Zimnix jumps up, domes him down, but Tensky still goes strong until finally he gets put down by Dupree, but into a 1v3. They made it costly, but they've not got much more out of it.
Yeah, not that costly. It's just a scout that's dropped, really. Config lost that. Tensky did lose an M4, but I think that was salvaged from a FAMAS, so no big deal there. And the big thing is no plant for Astralis. Their economy is gone after that forced buy. Dignitas has a huge lead in this match now.
It's fantastic to watch, and players are coming alive. Tensky, who's been quiet, is now having some big impact moments. He's playing very well individually, not necessarily the most impactful rounds yet, but certainly finding some form here. So now, looking at what the Astralis have, it's super limited, just the P250s. Again, they did manage to actually win this one on Mirage, bearing in mind with just those P250s, but that was on, I believe, their CT side, so a little bit harder to make it work on the T side in any capacity. Trying to take these fights as Digger just playing pretty passive, just sitting back, saying, all right, you want this, you've got to try and come and fight us. Tensky's going to see at least one of the massive nicks there. And it looks as though, once again, Astralis going to hit up on the rotate Cajun B. Not going to find anything as MSL just ruins him.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing far back at the moment, Dignitas. They're not giving any opportunity for Astralis to find a pickoff. Really not even much for them to use to get it. Like you said, just P250s, no armor. Config here should be able to just rack up some extra kills, pad that stat line. He's going to get 2, and Tensky's going to get the 3rd. But no one falls for Dignitas in that round. They're now up to 12. Astralis stuck on 7, and they are going to buy into this one. 5 AKs are going to be out across the board. Plenty of utility to work with as well. And Astralis, they need to get something going immediately.
It's going to happen now. Otherwise, I think if you see, I think Dig's just going to try and take this. At the end of the day, they've got the confidence now building behind them. You could be sitting there going, we're actually doing this on their good map. This is sick. All right, let's see what we can do. How far can we take this one? And let's see who gets that initial contact. 2 players pushed up on long. Quite an aggressive stance coming out from Rubino and Kiebi. They had something very similar, at least with Rubino, pushing out towards, you know, a ramp on your Mirage's CT side. So these guys are used to going for that aggressive stance, and they're doing it again. Look at this. MSL and Kiebi pushing right up. Kiebi's found Kerrigan. Perfect opportunity. But now, does Astralis instantly respond? Do they hit the brakes? How do they find their way back into this now?
They have to. They have to just push forward because they're surrounded. They think that there's a possibility that someone from Dignitas is in T-spawn. So they either all need to fall back and clear that out and regain map control together, or they need to push forward into this site. Because you can see the rotation that's coming in from Dignitas. MSL is ready for a quick flank downstairs. Tensky and Config in the B bomb site. There's so much potential that this is going to be stacked, and actually Zipnix is going to be the one to clear out T-spawn all by himself, and actually MSL gets caught out. I don't think he expected them to come back up those stairs whatsoever, but that's a mistake, not to either fall back with your teammate or stay pushed forward with the teammate, and Device is going to get a second one right through the wall. So single-handedly, he's pulled them back into this, the unlikeliest of rounds once Dignitas gained that much control.
Maybe lacking a touch of discipline there. MSL just in the wrong place, not quite making his mind up as you highlighted. So now where's the pick going to come from? I like this though. Kiebi going to take a little bit of the initiative here. Going to go on walkabouts, and he's actually right behind them too. Device and Cajun B about to be flanked in on, and he's going to hear these steps. Cajun B actually checks it, but it doesn't matter. Kiebi's doing pretty much the heavy lifting, and Device is going to see him on the cross. What are you doing, Kiebi? just hap-handedly running out, expecting presence where it wasn't. Now Config is forced to deal with what's coming through towards that B side. 2 players, Zipnik's being one of them. He's got the bomb to hand. Config has to play this right. They've all crossed through. He tries to adjust well, but Rabino in a great spot, actually watching for Device's pushdown, but Device gets through it. Suddenly, you've got a wolf pretty much among the sheep at this point. Device is right in the middle of things. He's going to carve the rotate and make this so damn hard.
This round has just gotten extremely hectic. This has just gone downhill real quick for Dignitas. Such a huge advantage. They thought the endgame was going to be an A play based on the pressure that Astralis was putting on, but landed at B. Rubino gets 2 kills, but Device, thankfully, he peaks then.
Ace for Device. What a goddamn player. You give him an AWP, you give him a rifle, he can still deliver on so many levels, and those kills were hard fought for as well. Yeah,
and it was incredible that Dignitas gained that much control of the map and then just gave it away for free, basically. MSL just far too advanced. That's the first thing that started the downfall, but that second kill from Device, that really opened things up, just the spam. But that's the thing. That was a round Astralis had to have, and now they have to string them together, and that's when the star player, that's when you want him to show up. He gets those 5 kills, and oh, that's a nice jump over Monster. MSL has no clue there's one out to his left.
That is absolutely sexy as hell. Config's going to push forward, though, but still finds him, but they've got to be scratching their heads going, how the hell did I miss that? But still, it does gift them over the first kill into this one. Can Device again have to ace to pick this up? He's already tagged up, so probably not so likely. And Rabino and Kiebi going to be pushed a little further forward, but not too much. Going to be able to jump back at their own discretion and not have to commit too long here.
Those 2 kills by Rubino in the last round in the post plant is so incredibly impactful. You look at if those 2 players survive, there's 2 more AKs on the board. But because he gets those killed, Dupree's stuck on a Deagle, Kerrigan's stuck on a Galil, and he's already out of utility. So is Device. So just the damage done, even with losing that round, it makes winning this round for Dignitas so much easier.
Now they just have to do it. Simple as that. Can they pull it off? All the players tucked into the side, and they're not giving Astralis an inch. Maybe learning their lesson after being caught off a little bit in the last one. Not bad to be keeping that in mind. The smokes and the flashes come out, but not an instant presence from Astralis towards the A side, but they are making their way there. 4 players, 2 up long, 2 playing through just by the bathrooms. Rabino's found Cajun B, and now here we go, the crossfire comes into place, but Device just dissembles it. 1 by 1, it's down to Kiebi now to hold this side together, but Device and Dupree are a little low, but they're sneaking through the sights, and there's Device again with the big kills. There's Dupree as well, and Device goes big again for these boys. 3 kills in such difficult situations, single-handedly making such a difference.
Yeah, 2 rounds in a row now. Device with 8 kills is being a monster. And if he starts coming alive here, that's where the comeback can really, really get spurred forward. Caribbean doing his best here. That's a nice kill on the Kerrigan, staying alive even, but Device just closes it out from there. He's at 23 and 12 for his team. And that forces an eco round into Dignitas. So a good chance here for Astralis to get up towards 10, close the gap a little bit, and this time they're not going to mess around. They're not spreading across the map on this anti-eco. They're just walking straight through Monster, using the advantage of their guns, a contact push. And they have a good advantage, and actually Zipnix pulls out a nade at the wrong time, but it doesn't matter. The superior firepower is just going to win out in the end.
Brute forcing their way through. Should be a plant coming in soon. Kiebi left at the side of things, not being able to get much done with the Deagle. Doesn't really have the time to be fair, as you said. Astralis, what?
All right.
Cajun, why you do this? Where was Dupree? I don't even know where he was, but there we go. That's going to end, but I don't understand how that happened.
Why not?
Poor guy. Poor guy. If you underperform, you get, just headshot randomly.
The Danes are ruthless.
They are. Not as much as the French, at least, during this tournament, but,
That was sick. That was incredible.
Backstab.
Yeah.
Some Caesar Brutus stuff going on there, but 12 to 10. Astralis now starting to build back in, and you're going to get Dignitas going, not again. We held so well. We've been building back. We've been doing perfectly, and the Device has none of it.
Same kind of situation now where their economy is much, much lower. They don't have a lot of nades to work with. This is what, it's a repeat of Mirage, essentially, where finally Astralis on the T side has broken the money. And this is where they really peeled Dignitas apart on the defense just kind of crumbled. So a lot of advantages now for Astralis, and they've got to know it. 3 members outside of Monster right now towards B. Cajun in the stairwell and Device all on his own, just looking for some aggression. A little bit interesting is we've been seeing Device with the AWP this whole time. They've announced he's the full-time offer. Kerrigan has it at the moment.
And he didn't have any drastically better spawn than Device in any way, shape, or form. So
it's probably because he's just been wrecking people with his AK.
The rifle. Right, exactly. If it's working, why switch it up for the sake of switching it up? You're perfectly fine at doing this. And he's, again, spotted the last 2 players, or at least 2 of the last players. And Kievi's going to at least trade out there, but slowly but surely Device was lurking his way through, gathering the information, executing off the back of it. Rabino now, they know he's been playing on this B side generally. Carrigan's going to get out of there with the bomb, head over towards A, get it safely planted. Device has cleared it out, and Rabino is left just, well, idly on the side.
Yeah, really smart play by Device that doesn't try and get either of those kills through a small sliver. He just passes the information along. 2 kills on the B bomb site. There's plenty of manpower for Astralis to just turn around and watch the flank. Cajun slaughters 1, but now Rubino, the last one left towards T-spawn. He's going to jump up. He's got to try and save this, but there's a lot of time left, and he's getting hunted from 2 angles. Zipnix is going to fall, and that's going to force Rubino back. And Dupree is such low HP, he doesn't want to push forward.
And there we go. Dupree will find him, even though he was very low HP. And it will be Astralis again, another on the board, information passing. Carrigan again actually sticking on this AWP as well. Not going to switch that out for anyone. I wonder what Carrigan's spawns like. Nothing particularly special about that either. So again, a choice to be made there internally in the team. Dignitas struggling for money now. This should be all even after this one.
Yeah, but they're going to be struggling. They're going to have the full losing bonus, so next round's obviously going to be a little bit better. They might be able to have, or they will be able to have an AWP on the board if they want it. But Astralis now comes roaring back into this game, and yeah, this is a nightmare situation where, you know, in the back of the Dignitas players' minds is just, this is not this way. Don't do this to us. So someone
meant to be our friends.
Yeah, well, that might be a big difference. Is Astralis side last match it was Dupree who stepped up, Zipnix as well. This time it's Device who's pulled them back from what seemed like certain doom to get that ace and bring them forward into this match. Who's going to do that for Dignitas? Who's going to be the one to step it up?
It's a brutal way for them to put it back in. Device is a bit of a beast when it comes to those sort of things. But here we go. The players coming out, pushing their way up long. Was Astralis and KGB's found Rabino. It's looking very likely here. But there's a lot of players close by. But Device has a wonderful angle again to watch the push through from that smoke. It's going to be Config who gets caught out. And it doesn't seem as though they're getting anything in the way of being able to pick up some of these kills here. MSL's on the verge of looking for it, but look at it. Device just laying down the trap saying, guys, come through the smoke. It'll be great for you. Don't worry, I'm not here. Takes down another, and it's down to these last 2. And Tensky and Kiebi might find Zipnix, but still.
I actually think Device was a little bit frustrated with that smoke because it bounced off the lip of the sidewalk, the curb. So he was like, oh, man, are you kidding me? Readjust the position, still gets a kill. Tensky and Kirby trying to find something at the end, but, I mean, Device, 3 kills for him again in this round. He's really starting to turn it up. It's going to be evened up at 12-12. Plenty of money on that dig side, like I said. Most sitting around $5,600 to $6,000, right in that range. So they can have an AWP if they want it with light armor. And they are going to do that. Yep. MSL picks it up. He's got smoke. He's got a flash behind it. All M4s beyond that. There is still the AWP in Kerrigan's hands, so he could see that battle. Meanwhile, you want to talk about money. Device over $10,000. It's been building up on this terror side as well. So Astralis now, even if they drop one, they have an opportunity to buy into the next few rounds and try and reset the economy. Any kind of economic reset this late in the game is going to be disaster for these teams.
It's all on the verge now, on a knife's edge, and look at this. Dupree goes in, but a great flash actually hinders him from the Dignitas side, and Config's not done just yet. Zipnix goes down. And you ask who might step up for them. We might have a name here suddenly. Config stopping the initial quick play, that little bit of a punishment coming through. And Astralis is sent packing. There's still the big player Device here. He's still in the mix, but how much can one man achieve in this? Last time he's aced, he's done big things, so maybe a silly question. He can achieve a lot, but Kiebi, Rabino, MSL all pushed up. MSL is watching his push through here. MSL.
It's going to come out of the timing.
Oh, God, MSL, please, no. No, Device again. This all becomes worrying because no one's actually on that A side instantly. He's going to have initial control. He's going to get some foot in the door here, and look at it again. This guy's insane at this. Can he find a way to shut at least one of these 2 players down? Cut enough approach.
That was a mistake, not by Device, but he tried to drop the smoke in the end of that Molotov to plume it right at that location, and it just bounced through the fire. So that gives an opportunity, that gives an avenue of retake for Dignitas here.
There's the molly towards the truck. Going to force Device to pull out of that position. He can't stick out there now. Going to at least open up an avenue of chance for Dignitas to play retake here, but they need to do it soon. Those flashes are being a massive nuisance. Carrigan's still got one to put down as well. Bomb is ticking away, bearing in mind. And there comes the smoke. Oh, they line up for Carrigan. He gets the job done, and now it's just down to Device, the one man who's been lurking in this smoke, waiting so patiently to pounce, and he gets one. He gets the second, and Device and Carrigan stepping up when it matters, and Astralis take it ahead to 13-12. And I asked what one man can do. We saw what two men can do for these boys, and sadly for Config, couldn't do any more than what he started with.
The double from Kerrigan is huge. This was the beautiful find. Just the timing for MSL doesn't work out. That double helps. But the patient play from Device in the bomb site that whole time, not feeling the pressure, just waiting, getting flashed, getting smoked, not freaking out, keeping his composure, and just playing that perfectly at the end. And now look at this. Dignitas reset, but they feel they have to buy into this round. 2 Famas on the board. Running out of utility. Aggressive play from Rubino, though. He grabs 1 kill in Device. He's down to 16 HP, so that's really, really good for Dignitas. But they're still extending. They're still being very, very aggressive.
Kiebi wants this so badly. He's going to hear him. He's going to hear him. Oh, Device, what? He was jumping up and still got Kiebi. That is absolutely gutting. And Device now wants more. Not going to find it. Rubino's aggression is paying dividends and then some. On 2 already. 3 more to find. He's going to have pressure along. He's going to find all the information, but can't do much with it now. Down to the last 3. Config, Tensky, and MSL need to keep this to hand. But look at Astralis. They've got everything to play with still.
They've got to be so careful, though, because MSL right on, I believe that's right underneath the ladder. Yeah. It's very, very close. And they've got to know the aggression out towards the long. They've got to know that Dignitas is starting to get a little bit pushy in terms of they want to try and catch Astralis off guards. They have that low econ situation, so they feel like the best advantage they can have is if they can be surprising. So MSL actually, with this push, there's no one watching the B bomb site from Dignitas. It's just going to be MSL on some kind of a quick flank, and Astralis is just going to walk their way in here. The question is, if Tensky and Config and MSL, none of them are seeing anything, how long before they say, okay, if we're not seeing anything this late in the round, we've got to feel like it's going to be this B bomb site. When do they start the rotate?
It's hopefully soon, but they're not. But Config's getting antsy about it, but MSL's starting to move, but by now, you've got 10 seconds left. You're going to hear the smokes, but they had to wait this long before they made any sort of counter maneuver. There's the molly to slow MSL down. Smoke's actually going to give him a chance to get a little bit closer than maybe they'd expect timing-wise, but Config's got to be a big player in this. He's the one with the M4. He's the one with the angle. Carrigan, Zipnix, and Cajun B now have to hold on for dear life. But look at MSL. Sneaks his way through. They did not expect that to come out just yet. And now Zipnix and Cajun B have to create a crossfire between the two of them. MSL spots out one. Spray comes in, but there's Zipnix. He's got the crossfire perfectly set. Now Tensky in the 1v2. They're tagged up there low, but he does not have a kit. And he doesn't have the angle, and Zipnix closes down again.
That flashbang. 2 members in water. Such a crucial portion of that bomb site to hold to defend against a retake. And even losing Kerrigan, I mean, they didn't have their eyes on short, so Kerrigan might have been a little bit frustrated here. But still, I mean, Cajun and Zipnix, that's such a sick crossfire setup. It's so hard to clear that out, especially as we mentioned repeatedly that round. The force by nature of what Dignitas is facing just means they're going to run out of these flashes. They're going to run out of these nades. These retakes are going to be much more difficult for them.
Dignitas starting to seem a little weary under all this. After a good tear, a good run for quite some time, they're just not there yet. Maybe starting to really feel the pressure of what Astralis can bring. Why this is one of their best maps as well.
7 in a row for Astralis, ever since they broke that economy.
Ouch. Well, that's not a nice way to look at it. That's pretty painful if you are a Dignitas fan. If you started to have hope, then it might just be dashed right now as MSL, Kiebi, the only ones really in this one, with Tensky as well with the utility there to make anything if they need to. And MSL's going to make contact with Device. Probably doesn't want to take that fight all that much. Is down to a minute here. Carrigan's with the one trying to land the shot. And again, his AWPing's been pretty quiet, apart from that double, of course, but not finding many openings to this one. But then again, why do you need to when Device is doing all of it pretty much at the moment?
Right. I mean, Device just... look at the disparity in nades, though. 4 Molotovs, 3 smokes for Astralis to use, and he was one of the members' Device without any of them, so they put confidence in him to just walk up and have some kind of confidence peak. Doesn't win it. KRB gets aggressive. He falls to Cajun B. 30 seconds left. Astralis being very, very patient with this, but Rubino's going to find one. He swings out. Heavily damaged. Now the smokes and the Molotov should start coming out. If this is going to be an A hit, Astralis has to make sure they use everything, and there it is. 1 smoke for the choke point. Molotovs aren't out, and actually Dink comes out. That's not the most effective smoke, and Rubino's still hiding here. Actually, this is all the defense is here, but Dupree's just going to clothesline him. He gets a second one. The entries are coming out. Rubino, no HP, can't take that battle, and Zipnix, they're going to end it, and Astralis just trades out Dignitas in that round.
The best part being, they still had 3 mollies. They could have cleared that corner. He had 7 HP, I think, at the end of that. It was down to nothing, but taking the fight, he gave them the round, and now look at it, 15-12. Dignitas showed such presence of mind into this game, but just not quite enough to take on Astralis to this point. But then again, maybe they could salvage something, just pull themselves together for one more go at it. But at this point, Astralis look almost too hot to handle as MSL going to get himself into a nice little position here. Just down by that connector, and Carrigan looking for that first chance, and the first victim might actually be Config. He's going off this flash as well. He's got him pinned to the wall, but Carrigan misses the shot. Dupree won though, but now the pinch comes in, and Rabino is doing everything he can to keep this one still in check, but by now the bomb's not been moved. It's still up in spawn. MSL's taking a fight with Cajun B, and while that happens, Device is closing in from up above, and every second he buys, he gets closer and closer. It gets more and more dangerous. They're lining up, and that is one thing you do not want to do for this man right now. He doesn't get both for once. It's down to a 2v1.
Zipnik's with, I mean, they have no clue where he is. He has the bomb. He's got a minute to play with. And MSL very, very low, and it looks like Zipnik's just might, yeah, he's just making sure that there's no one coming up this ladder. That's exactly where the battle was, so he wants to make sure that MSL isn't getting a little too creative. But now it is down to him. He gets to dictate the pace of this round, where they go. Coming down ladder, just seeing if there's going to be anyone there. That's the tough part. If he comes up, MSL's got a great positioning here. Over towards the B bomb site, he's going to have a defender, and he is going to go up the stairs. This would be such a massive round for him to win, and actually it's going to come once again to timing, and MSL responds, but no HP. He can't afford to miss those shots. This might be why you're seeing this gap close in the scoreline. A little bit of the nerves coming out for the Dignitas players in this kind of a situation, and the A bomb site is going to be where Zipnik chooses to make a stand. That Molotov, Tensky runs through it, takes a lot of damage, down to 55 HP. Flashbang in the hand of Zipnik for the match. He blinds him completely.
Zipnik's down to 17. He's spotted out Tensky. Tensky is taking the fight on this. He doesn't have a kit. He needs to take the fight as well. And Zipnik is buying time so perfectly. Tensky stays calm, but not collected, as there we have it. It is Astralis to pick up the map at, well, 16 to 12 in the end. Two maps back to back. Close. Great performances from Dignitas, but just not quite on the level of Astralis.
Yeah, opened up both maps wonderfully, like really good stuff. And then once Astralis got going, like we mentioned a couple times, the economy resets were brutal. And once Astralis had that economic advantage, they just didn't want to give it up. And I mean, that even happened yesterday against Envy. So it's just something they're very, very good at, is playing, manipulating the economy and playing with that strength.
It looks as though we're going to hear from Device pretty soon. Quite curious to see how he feels about the end of that game.
He was a monster.
What a play from that man who's on your screen right now. So enough of us. Let's actually hear from the man of the moment, which is Device, joined by OJ.
Thank you very much. As has just been tweeted, that is what happens when Device gets plugged in again.
Apparently so, yeah.
It was another good match. You've got a bit of a habit of giving teams a head start.
I mean, like, we got both gun rounds, right? And we lost the second round on both sides, playing pretty bad, in my opinion. But, like, yeah, they got a head start again, and I felt like we've been the comeback kings in these two games, so yeah.
It's great to see you playing that again, because you were always great comeback players. But maybe that big win that seems to be in the offing for you at some point, when you stop giving these teams the head starts and play like that all the way through, you guys are going to be awesome.
Yeah, I hope so too, and we're working a lot at the moment, and I feel like our new stuff is going really well. We still lose silly rounds, every team does that, and I feel like we are improving.
So Fnatic versus G2 is the next matchup. How do you see that going?
G2 played really amazing against us yesterday, so I assume Fnatic are gonna ban like us too, because they're really good on that, but it's gonna be a tense matchup at least.
Well, you're sitting on the fence there. Who's winning it?
It's hard to say, right? I think Fnatic will, so.
So you think you'll see Fnatic in the final?
Yeah, what we call the final, yeah.
What we call the final two. You'll have 2 lives left. So it is going to be Fnatic taking on G2 in the final. And Alex, that's what happens if you don't manage your economy.
Thanks very much, OJ. Always a fountain of knowledge here at the CSGO Barcelona, the ESL Expo, of course. Janko, Henry, Sadie Kiss, we just witnessed a quick 2-0, really, I guess, against the boys from Dignitas. But every single time our hopes get up, I was talking to you, it was like 12-11. You were like, there's no way that, this isn't over yet for Dignitas. So Janko was already kind of writing them out. It was like, this just feels like it's gone horribly wrong.
Yeah, definitely. The problem is, when you look at it, as Device pointed out, they did win both pistol rounds, but lost second rounds both times. Yeah. So Dignitas actually had a 5-1 start and a 3-1 start, so 8-2, and they ended up losing 16-12 in the end. It's just something that, shouldn't happen. And the worst thing is, in that second half, they had a lot of 5v3 situations. They lost 5v4. They would get the entry kill for free somewhere, so to speak, but they just, couldn't play the numbers.
The one that sticks out the most, like I think it was when it was a 12-12. It's a 4-on-2 situation in favor of Dignitas, looking like they had everything on lockdown, and it was looking like perfectly in their favor just to kind of get them over the edge. All of a sudden, though, it's Carrigan and Device, and Device comes in. It's a double kill with the AWP for Carrigan from long, and then Device is working once again, is sitting in the smoke, and that was like, we were kind of discussing, like, when do we think this game's going to be defined, right? Yeah. And then that was the moment for me. That's when we knew Astralis were going to actually just run away with that one.
Yeah, I heard we actually have a replay to look at as well, so we can go ahead.
Do we know what the replay is? Or
is that? I think this is going to be that final round, that final jump shot from Zipnix, where he just basically gets himself on that bin.
It's kind of.
You also have the round when it was the 12-12 round, right? So it was another time the Dignitas had a 5v3. So Device was pushing toilets, and MSL was there all by himself. So Device gets that kill, and suddenly Dignitas has no control over A side anymore, which is kind of weird to me, because if you're in a 5v3, just play it safe, play for info, right? Try to figure out where Astralis is going to go, because they have to commit with all three guys, most likely, right? So what they did there is just, it made no, it's like they were in a 3v3, right? They just had one player on A, he died, gave control of the side. In the end, Device clutched, and you could see that round really tilted them, in my opinion, because they force bought after that, and it was the score was 13 for Astralis, right? You want to eco there, so at 14, when the enemy has 14 routes, you have a healthy buy, so you don't concede a draw, basically. From that point on, they only had like weak buys.
So you just consider that like an unnecessary risk, almost.
Yes.
You could still play for the win theoretically if you save money for that, but if you eco, then you're forced to eco at 50 or at 14 as well. Then you have to basically play for the draw. So your best chance is to, of course, to go for the save in 14 plus, it's going to accumulate.
Just to touch on that point, we didn't really talk about the replay. I think Zipex has been phenomenal for Astralis recently, just because he is so consistent in those clutch situations. He's so calm, he knows exactly what he has to do. And for someone like who's considered a support player, I don't even think you can define him with that role right now.
I think he's been out of that role for a while.
It's the fact he can actually consistently win his clutches. Every time I see him in a 3-on-2 or something like that, like just if he's alive in those sort of situations, he's just so smart and calm and knows exactly what he has to do. And that's a prime example there. That's an intense situation. You were 14 HP, you're timing your opponent, you know exactly where they're going to be, and that nice little jump up to finish it, the crisp aim as well. Yeah. Like, just a great overall package, and like I'm really been impressed by him.
And against Tensky, who was also good at clutching rounds for Dignitas early on in that force buy.
Yeah, I think Zipex has been the biggest improvement. I think in terms of clutching, people used to look at Dupree in this team. Yeah. Device would open the rounds, Dupree would close them. Zipex has been closing. I think his stats in terms of clutching, if you looked them up, would be actually significally higher than anyone else on the team.
I mean, what's interesting to me was when I was literally when they initially announced Astralis, they had these lovely little player profiles on the new website. I was scrolling through, and it actually went through, yes, Device is now I want to be the main AWP. But also on Zipnix, he was like, I want to step to a more frag-heavy role. He actually said it in his little like plans for 2016. I plan to frag more. And
I think he got complacent in his role because the team was finding success, and he was kind of just the guy who was just throwing out the nades and didn't feel the pressure. But then when they started losing again, there was that rumor that they were looking to go to AZ and get rid of Zipix, and they sat him down and basically said, Fragger, go home.
It wasn't a rumor. That definitely happened.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And I mean, it's good to see that Zipnix is back. And that team, indeed, it seems time and time again, this slow start, though, I just want to address that quite quickly, that he said already, OJ actually came up with it, that top analysis we always talk about. He said, if you can avoid some, get rid of these bad starts, you guys are going to be like dominant.
This is the thing. These were like the interview said in Device. They're actually very silly rounds they're throwing away. Those second round force buys, they're so avoidable in situations like that one. Tensky that comes to mind. And the first half, the second round, like, it's a 2-on-1 situation, right? He hasn't planted the bomb yet, and you're both playing different sides, right? And then in those circumstances, when you're in 2-on-1s as a CTs, I always prefer to stay together in those retakes.
It was initially a 2v2. It just when they came into
that's
the
right,
side.
Device was sitting on the truck, right? And that's the thing. Like, he needs to be playing more of a defensive position. If you're going to play separated different bomb sides, you don't want to be in a position where you're frag or die, right? You need to be playing like towards the CT step so you can get the information, go for the frag, sure, but you're up against the Tech 9. And the thing is as well, Dupree actually had a really strong chance of winning that round. He went for the full defuse when he had no kit, right? But he committed to that so much that he didn't have a chance. He went down to like 2 seconds, and then he went off to go get the kill, but at that point there was 100% loss. And for me, if you're going to take that risk and go for that full defuse and you're going to commit to that long, you might as well go for it. You're all in that stage, right? You can't win the round if you get off. So that was a really interesting one. There's little things like that. Like if they can work on those second round anti-ecos, I think they'll set themselves up fantastic.
So a good way to kind of summarize it is that Astralis good, some silly rounds. I think that's kind of the way we.
There are some things that I do want to point out. Their B-hold was actually quite weak today in comparison to how it normally has been. Now I know economy didn't work in their favor at the very start of it, but even then, the rounds that Dignitas were getting were in that B site, and that's normally a very, very very strong site for them. So there's still definitely some gaps here. I just think that, again, Dignitas made a number of mistakes, which Yanko pointed out. They clawed back in late. They went on a little bit of a tilt. If I'm Fnatic or G2 right now and I'm going into the final, you kind of actually got to have a little bit of confidence against Astralis, because the good maps for them that are normally untouchable, Dust 2, Overpass, they've showed weaknesses on them. And Mirage has actually been, I think, their most consistent this weekend, despite that they were a little bit slow this morning. I think they were just asleep more than anything.
Yeah, and now Astralis do wait in that final spot. They, of course, just have to sit back and watch as 2 games, 2 best-of-1s back-to-back do go and transpire between G2 and Fnatic. We started with 8 teams, and now just 3 remain. We're going to make that 2 after a quick break.